2 day in life still SMP, I will be going from $6 to 1 mace. So first, let's start by chopping down a tree and getting an axe. So our first strategy is going to be getting wood and selling it on the auction house, and maybe making like the wood into like trapdoors and selling them. I don't know how much trapdoors are currently going for, but I'll find out in a second. Alright, 4 should be enough to start to get a nice good old crafting table. Let's see what we can make. Alright, let's get sticks. Just a wooden spear and 2 trapdoors. Alright, let's put the spear up for 5k to start. And let's put... I'll list these trapdoors separately. I'll sell one for 8k just to start. And I will also list the other trapdoor for 8,000. Once all of those sell, or if they don't, I will be back. Alright, the first trapdoor just sold a second ago, and I'm having trouble selling the other one, so I'm probably gonna take it down and the spear, and I'm gonna try to buy something new. So I'm gonna take this down real quick. I'm gonna take both of these down, and we're gonna list the trapdoor now for 7k instead of 8k. The spear I'll put up at 3k just to try to get sold quick. Alright, and if both of those sell, we will have about 18k, which will be good. And there goes the spear. And now we just need for the trapdoor to sell, which will put us around 18k. And the first thing that I want to do, I'm going to need about 20k to start. So I'm going to try to sell some of these saplings, and I'm going to try to sell some of these saplings and wood to try to get the rest of it. So let's see if there's any orders for saplings in. Alright. And see what else we can make out of this wood to try to get some money. Let's see what slabs are going for. Let's see what oak slabs are going for. It looks like stack of oak slabs is currently going for like 15k, so let's see, alright, Ash made, let's see if I can make 2 stacks of oak slabs. Alright, there's 2 stacks, so we'll throw these up at on AH. Let's go 14k, because I saw someone set 15k, and I want to undercut them a little bit. So hopefully these sell quickly, so then we can have a good bit of money for the next method. Alright, we're going to move on from selling wood products, and I'm going to just do /sell, and I'm just going to get rid of everything I currently have. Alright, that can mean an extra $100. We'll take it. I probably should have kept the crafting table, so I'll just bring like a log real quick so I have wood for a crafting table. That cherry blossom biome. Wait, so my plan was going to be like getting sand and selling it, which is literally like what everybody does, but with this cherry blossom, the leaves or something. Alright. Let me get up here. Wait, the cherry blossom might actually be pretty good. Now. And, okay, 4k per pair. And we're just gonna destroy the leaves, and hopefully we can sell these in like sacks for like 20k. Alright, it's about to go to nighttime, and I'm dead. Holy cow. There's no way that actually just happened. Alright, this is very unfortunate, so let's just go to a nice little AH, and let's see. Alright, I don't even care at this point. I'm just getting out of stack event if it's done. Alright, I don't know how I didn't just die there. I probably should have just died there, but I didn't. So, first of all, I'm just going to patch up this hole so that does not repeat. Alright, I'll be back in a second. Alright, I just finished collecting everything, and from this first one, we have 1, 2, 3, 4. We have 4 stacks of cherry leaves and an extra 13, which, if we can get this much from every single one, we might just make all of our money off cherry leaf. Yeah, he's just gonna be there. Alright, let's see how much these are going for. Looks like stacked for 15k. Alright, let's just throw these up at slash age. Let's go 14k, just underpriced, everybody. And I forgot to use slash shell. Slash shell 14k. Cut to when I have an axe and to when all this is sold. Just put this iron axe for 9k. None of the cherry blossom leaves have sold yet, but I'm gonna start chopping this tree. And alright, I'm gonna cut when I have it all chopped down. Alright, and from that first tree, I got 15 logs. I'm gonna now move on to some of these next trees, which luckily are a little bit more smaller because that one is like massive. Alright, I'm gonna start over here. I'll be back in a second when I have all the leaves. Alright, so I just got really lucky and somebody just went through and bought all the cherry leaves that I'd listed for a good price. So now I'm at 140k. Alright, and I got a good bit of cherry logs, so I'm just gonna sell these. Let's see, what do cherry logs go for? Hopefully they go for a good bit, so I'm probably gonna finish this method out with hopefully around 200,000. Alright, looks like somebody has them up. I list them at 60k. Actually, no, 54k. 54k for the stack, and I'll list this at 40k. Alright, and then this will look instantly. Looks like we're currently at exactly like 200,000. So I'm probably gonna TP away and try to find something else to do. I found a nice little beach area where I can do this. There's a little bit of snow, but I can get rid of it. So first what I'm going to do is I'm going to put in an order for gunpowder. I just got set up for gunpowder, 800 of them for 125 per. I probably should look at what gunpowder is actually going for, because this could either fill up really quickly or I just completely underpriced it. Looks like I didn't completely underprice it, but like I am pretty far down. So I might just like cancel this and let's redo it for. Alright, now I'm gonna redo this real quick, where instead of paying 120, I'm gonna pay 200. I got the ordered gunpowder, 750, 200 per, which that'll probably get filled up almost instantly. I just did that. I now have like no money left, so now I've got to find a shovel on the auction house. I'm gonna settle on 20k for a diamond shovel. Alright, so now I'm just gonna mount this beach. Alright, it looks like our order was fulfilled. So I'm just gonna go over here and take all this. And luckily I kept that one log, so now I can make it into a crafting table, so I can now craft TNT. That's 37 to start, that's pretty good. I'll take it. But I need a good bit more than that to sell it. So I'm just gonna start grinding out more sand. See you in a second. I mined out a good bit of this beach, and now my shovel's at half durability, so we're gonna sell it on AH for 15,000. There we go. Let's see how much snowballs go for on the auction house. Because while mine is out, I did collect a good bit of snowballs. And I don't really go for anything else, throw them down. And now, for the final finale, how much TNT do we have? And a little bit more. And a stack and 64. Alright, I'll take that. Let's see how much a stack goes for. There's 63 for, alright. And all this, I'll just throw up on each 99k for a stack. And then this amount I'll throw up for 94k. on H. Right, and there goes the stack, and the other stack is 6 years old. So we are at 285k now, which does not put us in a profit at all. So, because we are down a good bit, I'm probably going to move on to a new strategy, and I'll RTP to a new area soon. Just bought a shovel, and I'm going to use the shovel to get more sand, because I still have 2 sacks of gunpowder left that I can use to make some more TNT before we move on to the next method. I thought this method would make me a good bit more money, but it did not. Alright, I'll cut to when I've mined out the sand. Alright, I just mined out a good bit more sand. I now have a little bit more than 3 stacks. And that gives us 26. Alright, that's not horrible. And now we can, let's see what the going rate for sand is. Hopefully it's a good amount, so then I can, hopefully it's like 25,000 maybe per stack. And, alright, we'll start it up at 8. I'll go 9k just to undercut the lowest person. Alright, and send about that immediately. And then I'll put those pieces back, because I'm not going to use them. Right, and now with this 26 TNT, I'm going to sell it in, let's see, I'm going to sell it in, one is 16, and then the other says 5. Right, I'm going to come up with a method, and I will be back in a second. Yeah, I'm dead. So after all that happened, I'm going to take this fresh starter kit and use it. And it looks like we teleported somewhere where there's been a couple crystal fights. So I'm going to look around for an area where I can find some sort of money-making method. Alright, I randomly RPT'd to somewhere else, and now I'm in, and then I went down a cave to make my first base area. I'm going to buy a pickaxe off H, and when we will cut, I will be in the base mining it out. I just mined out a tiny little area where I can make the base, and now this iron pickaxe, I bought it for 12k I believe, so we'll list it for 10k, and lose a little bit, but I sold some of the stone that I got, and I also got some coal from that, which I will be using for the next thing that I'm going to do. So, the next thing that I'm doing is I'm going to be setting up an autocrafter farm thing, a tiny autocrafter thing, where it turns iron blocks into iron, and it turns the iron into shears or something else. I'll change the strategy to whatever is selling for a good bit at the time to where I can make a good profit. Right, now we'll get started on that, and I'll be back in a second when the farm's done. Alright, so guys, I've just spent a really long time working on this farm. Like, I've probably spent like 4 hours, which is way too long. So, if I put a redstone here, it'll start to spin them out, and I've crafted a good bit. And I'm gonna buy some shulker boxes, throw them in, and I'm hopefully gonna sell them in orders, or if not, I'm gonna have to grind them out in H, which will take a good bit of time. So I'll cut to when I have them on shulkers. I just got them all filled up. There's 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 4 that's filled up, and this one I'm working on getting filled up, and all the other ones are just empty. So how this works is when I place that down, it sends a signal where it then starts shooting them in. And all the materials come from in here. And yeah, this chest is just getting completely filled up. And it got clogged. Let me turn that off. So what I do is I need to take more sticks and put sticks back in here, so that actually has the recipe right. And then turn that back on, and it's all crafting perfectly. Only thing is the system gets a little bit backed up because I can't get sticks in quick enough. So I'll pause that for a second. And like that's all refilled up. yeah, this is also filled up, so I'm just gonna... Alright, I'm gonna go and hopefully get all these filled up. Alright, so I'm having a trouble selling all the iron swords, so I switched it from making iron swords, just making trapdoors. We've sold some of the iron swords, but not a lot, so I'm gonna get this going and see how many trapdoors we have, because you can sell them per on each for like 9k. Alright, and it looks like we made 28 before it ran out. So, hopefully I can sell these and get like 280k. And then I can buy some more iron on age and then resell these for hopefully a little bit more. I decided I'm not gonna make TNT because everything else wasn't ready too well, so I just bought all the supplies. I have almost full inventory of gunpowder and sand from it, where hopefully I can turn into a good bit of TNT. So I'm just gonna place down shulkers over here, and then I'm gonna put them in for the recipe. So this is the recipe, so I'm just gonna fill this up. Alright, so it's maxed out, and then over here in this I'm just gonna build this up so then it's good. So then I can refill them all quick enough. And then I'm just throwing all this in here so then it can go in. And I believe I now have everything set up, so let's turn it on. Alright, this is pumping out that bottom right corner. Right, I'm just watching this to make sure everything says alright, and then let's pause it for a second just to let everything get refilled in. Alright, so I'm just gonna go to when I have all this done. It looks like stacks go for about 150k. Alright, I'll probably list my stacks to like 140. Let's go 142k. Seems like a good number. And the good thing while all this was happening, some of the stuff from the original iron farm that I did, I guess, sold. And then for the rest of this, I'm gonna sell it, and I'm gonna sell some of it in 16s, and I'm gonna sell the last little bit in 5s. Alright, and then I'll come back to you, hopefully once all this is sold. Strategy, all the TNT sold, and now I'm selling all the iron swords for 12k per on the auction house, where hopefully I can get a good bit of them sold. So it's the pickaxe, but I'm just hoping that these, and also the pickaxe is still not a sword. I haven't sold a single sword so far, so I really hope the one sells, because like I really need to start making some of my money back. But I'm gonna get off, and when I hopefully come back, all of them are gonna be sold. Alright, I just got back on after, and I only sold 10 iron swords, so this is gonna be a grind. And I'm gonna need to hopefully get all this listed quickly, because I don't really want to like grind this out for too much longer. So I'm probably just gonna like sell these iron swords, and then I'll let you know once I reach 1 mil. Alright, I just finished getting most of the stuff in here to where this is filled up and to where this is filled up. And all I need to do is place back down the contractor and turn that on, and now we're running. So the only bad thing about this is this doesn't really keep up too well. So the gunpowder will probably run out, and I'll have to pause it and re-put it manually because of the way that I set it up. So yeah, I just take the stacks, put them in, and then you have to take the stacks and put it in manually because sometimes it doesn't work too well. So I'll just start putting gunpowder in my hotbar so then I can just fix it whenever. I'm just gonna cut to when I have all this done. I just finished doing everything and I got all the TNT, which is a good bit. And if you look at the right side, a good bit of the swords have started to sell. So that's really nice. And I'm gonna start getting all this TNT listed. So first, let's look at the going rate for TNT on the good old auction house. I'm listed at 150 per stack. And hopefully they all sell pretty quickly, so then I can make a good bit of profit from them. And I'll be back once I have all them listed. Just passed my first million. One guy's buying this stuff really quick. So I just finished getting most of the stuff listed, and somebody's buying it pretty quickly. And I'm gonna list these last bits and singular ones I'll just throw them up at like 20k per or something. Let's go 15k per. Alright, and I'll cut to when I have all these listed. Alright, just finishing all those listed. I'm just gonna grab the swords until hopefully either reach max listings or until they're all sold. Hopefully until they're all sold. Alright, I just finished getting all the swords listed and most of them have already sold. We're currently at 2.23 million, which puts us like 700,000 away from a maze. So I'm gonna move on to a new method, which is gonna be enchanting diamond swords and selling them on the auction house. So I'm gonna set that up right here, and once I have it set up, I will be back. Alright, I just got set up a level 30 enchantment table, and I got enough stuff to set up. I got sticks, diamonds, 5 stacks of balls of enchanting, and I had some lapis in my chest. So I'm gonna set up an autocraft station over here to autocraft some diamond swords, and then when we come back, I'll hopefully have it all ready. I'll start enchanting. Alright, I just got all the diamond swords, and now I'm just gonna throw some enchantment balls until I get to like level 30 probably. Alright, I just used 4 stacks of enchantment balls and it got me to level 33. Now let's enchant some stuff. Sharpness 4 to start. We got regular sharpness 4. Okay, that's not that good. Breaking 3. Alright, just some breaking 3. And some more enchantment balls. Alright, now let's go again. Bane of Arthropods 4. It's not that good, so I'm just gonna enchant my pickaxe and hopefully get something good. Or whatever, I'll resell that at some point. Alright, more enchantment bottles. Alright, I ran out of balls of enchantment, so I'm just gonna buy like a couple more stacks and then I'll be back. I just bought a lot more balls of enchantment and I got to level 36, and I also got a grindstone that I got for like 20k, where if I get like a bad enchantment, so these I'll probably just combine together, which I'll need to get an anvil to do. So I'll probably buy an anvil at some point, but I'm just gonna get to enchanting the rest of these swords. Alright, and let's see. Ooh, fire aspect? Oh, just fire aspect. That could be better if it was actually something with it. Bane of Arthropods is not that good. You know what, let's just go for it. Alright, let's see. Can I get rid of the... Let's get rid of that. And then let's enchant it again. And are you serious? Bane of Arthropods again. Alright, so now I'm just gonna grind these out until I have a couple maxed out swords, and I'll probably buy an anvil for a good bit. So enchanting all the swords and combining them, and ended up with a Smite 5 Unbreaking 3 sword, a Fire Aspect 2, Sharp 4, Unbreaking 3 Knockback 2 sword, an Unbreaking 3 Sharpness 3 Knockback 2 sword, a Sharpness 3 Unbreaking 3 sword, an Unbreaking 3 sword, and another Unbreaking 3 sword. So I'm gonna start getting all these listed, and I will be back once all of them have sold. I just got back on a good bit of the stuff that we had sold. I'm gonna check and see if any of the stuff didn't sell. I sold 420,000 worth of stuff while I was offline, and it looks like one of the Sharp 3 Unbreaking 3 swords is still listed, and both of the Unbreaking 3 swords are still listed. So we'll hope that this sell. Let's see what the price of a mace is right now, because if it's the right price, we could buy one right now and complete the challenge. So we have 2.68 million. And we do not have enough to complete the challenge. So what I'm probably going to do for the last method is I'm going to try to do some auction house flipping, which I have not done yet. So we're just going to start by recently listed, and we're just going to look for shulkers that are in my price range. Alright, that's just a shulker box with nothing in it. To refresh. Alright, there's my minecarts of TNT. Alright, that's just one of full minecarts of TNT. I'm gonna pass on that one. Here's one that looks like it's loaded with coal. 2.5 stacks of coal. How much is it? 1 million. Alright, I'm gonna pass on that. Any new ones? Doesn't look like it. Let's refresh. There's one. Another full minecart with TNT. Let's refresh again. There's one armor stands. It's a lot of armor stands. That's 189,000. Wait, how much do armor stands go for singularly? Let me check real quick. It looks like armor stands singularly go for like 8k, but like a stack now, which is 16, go for like decent bit. So I'm gonna pass on that, and we're gonna go back to just regular AH, try to flip stuff. Alright. Another shulker felt bone meal. Shulker with maps. 4 maps, I'm gonna pass on that. Last prop 4 book. It's a pale moss carpet. Alright, and I'm just gonna start looking on for stuff that or for something that I could buy and flip. And I'll be back once I have something that I bought. Which on age go for a good bit. I'll probably list them at like 17k, and we can make like a 12k profit per. So I'm gonna go back over to AH, Deep Slate, and just buy a whole bunch of Deep Slate. Alright, I'll be back once I have a good bit. I just got the first stack done, and now I'm gonna list this on the auction house for let's go 17k. Undercut the person who's selling it. And now I'm gonna put in an order for a good bit, and I'll be back once hopefully my order is filled. Alright, my order got filled, and I'm currently actively making some. I'm still working on getting all of it out, but I got a good bit of it out. I'm gonna update once I have all of it crafted in the polished Deep Slate. I've worked on it a good bit. I got the hopper filled up, and this chest is pretty good, and this chest has to be filled up. So, not just a waiting game for it to all be done. Alright guys, one guy, Jaritas, if you look at my chat, Jarito007 just went through and he bought like a whole bunch of my Deep Slate tiles, and we're at 3 million, and the worst part is I still have like a whole bunch of stuff to sell. So I'm into each stack of Deep Slates for like 1,700 or so, and I'm selling them for 15k, so I'm making like a 14,000, like about 13.5 thousand profit per. And as long as I keep on selling these, we'll probably get to like 3.5 mil where I can get myself a nice mace. And there another one sold. So I'll be back once I have all these listed. Alright, I just got all the Deep Slate tiles listed, and most of them have sold. Officially gone across the milestone marker. And let's see, we still have a good bit of stuff listed on the auction house. We still have, I listed the diamond swords and 1 sold, and there's 2 left. And then we just have a whole bunch of Deep Slate tiles left. So, now we're gonna start going to mace shopping and trying to find one for a good deal. I wanna go for a density 5 unbreaking 3 mending 1. Wait, what's the cheapest 1 burst? That's my question. Wait, let me look up 1 burst maces real quick. There go one of the diamond swords just sold. Let's see, the cheapest 1 burst mace. Does that even have 1 burst on it? Yeah, that doesn't have 1 burst on it. It just looks like a fighting kit for 5 mil. I'll start from recently listed now that I know about the price of them. 1 burst 1 for 7 mil. Yeah, I'm probably not going to be able to get a 1 burst mace. But I do want to try to get, there's a fully maxed out one for 11 mil. Oh, that 1 burst 3 looks really cheap. I feel like 15 mil for 1 burst 3 is cheap. Yes, and now I'm just looking around. I have like 3.5 mil. So I'm just looking for one that's in my budget, that's like maxed out, except for 1 burst. Alright. I might go for this one. You know what? It's this one. Alright. I got it. Fire Speak 2, Density 5, I'm breaking 3 mending mace. I completed the challenge with a good bit of leftover money. So that's really good. Now the only question is, what do wind charges go for? Let's see. Oh, that is not cheap. Sort lowest looks like they singularly go for like 7k. Alright, yeah, that's not that good. Alright, I might just like. Alright. So it's official, I've completed the Myth challenge. and I will probably not be using this because like wind chargers cost so much. But thank you so much for watching the video. Especially if you get this far, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and let me know if you want to see more videos like this. Bye bye!